Oh, shit, yeah. It's Friday, and there's something I always say on Friday to to celebrate Friday. I say to myself,
Chinese people look Chinese. Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Generally speaking. So you know what we do. Every week, we try to check in with America's favorite little guy. We try to check in with America's favorite YouTuber, Ben Shapiro. We say, what is this weirdo up to? What is this nut up to this week? And so let's take a look.
Hi, Ben. My name's Ember.
Hi.
In 2021, you said that the potential rise of global temperatures by 4 degrees Celsius due to climate change is, quote, not an emergency.
Sort of weird that her name's Ember, and she's talking about the planet burning. Okay, anyway, sorry, guys.
And even made fun of top scientists for calling climate change a climate emergency. A new study by the Journal of Natural Science says that if by the end of the century, climate change will total up to 83 million deaths because of climate-related causes.
Yeah, they're wrong. Sorry, go ahead, but continue, but I'll explain why. Go ahead.
They're wrong. They're wrong. I did some independent research on my own. I bought a microscope, all this crap, and I cracked the case.
I'm wondering, Ben, why you believe that climate change is not an emergency.
Okay, because they're wrong. So now here's the, sorry, I didn't let you get to the question mark. The reason that they are wrong is because all of these studies are done in the absence of mitigating measures. So as I've said before, when I talk about climate change, when you're talking about climate change, there are a couple of things human beings can do. And by the way, I accept IPCC estimates.
Could you imagine having the balls?
Yeah, these scientists missed something.
All the scientists are like, oh man, Ben, this weird guy, Ben Pepino, who, what does he do? I don't know. I think he was a lawyer at one point. He's a YouTuber. All these scientists got together. We did all these tests in the real world, but, oh man, we missed.
You missed something, you idiots.
Ben Shapiro, what I love about Ben Shapiro is that, a couple years ago, he was just like,
it's fake.
He started off, this is the evolution, the adaptation, many call it, of Ben Shapiro's climate change stuff is, first it was,
it's fake.
Now it's morphed into,
it's real, but they missed something. They forgot to carry the 4.
And we live in a geopolitical world in which a carbon emission from China counts the same as a carbon emission from the United States, which says, again, this doesn't mean there's nothing we can do. It means what we ought to be doing is the thing that will prevent the 83 million deaths, which is why I'm very confident it will prevent the 83 million deaths, adaptation. This means, for example, that we build seawalls. The simple fact of the matter is that New Orleans exists below sea level. When the seawalls...
So you can read actually, like on the IPCC website or whatever, you can read their little report, the little summary of their report. And they're very clear. They're like, yeah, we got to figure out another form of energy. But Ben Shapiro's like,
no. Just build a seawall. We'll keep doing the oil, the fossil fuel crap, and then things will start falling apart, but then we'll just gotta figure it out.
However, Hollywood's principled stand on behalf of LGBTQ plus IA minus quotation mark caret backslash colon semicolon hashtag tilde.
Shit, bro. That's good.
Can't do this anymore, man.
This is him just a couple days before.
So never say that I've never done anything for the LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign percentage sign ampersand tilde community.
Yeah, you doing bits, bro? You got little pre-planned bits, bro? Who are you, Stavros? Halkias now? Hey, it's me, Tim Dillon. I need to get Ben Shapiro to open for me, bro, with these jokes. People say.
And smothered in our new queso blanco. Come in today and see what all the talk's about.
Yeah,
Only
bro.
at Taco Cabana.
Yum, I'll poop my pants.
However, Hollywood's principled stand on behalf of LGBTQ plus IA minus quotation mark caret backslash colon semicolon hashtag tilde.
Yes, bro.
It seems that their courage ends where their bank account begins.
Okay.
Because now, as it turns out, Warner Brothers has stripped a direct reference to a gay relationship from Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore for the film's Chinese release.
Chinese people look Chinese.
Sexual orientation talk in the books, because they are directed at children, and J.K. Rowling is not stupid enough to undermine her own market. She did an interview where she's like, yeah, Dumbledore's gay. And everyone's like, okay, fine, Dumbledore's gay, whatever. So now they're putting it in the movies.
Are you aware?
Again, directed at children, which is pretty wild. But in China, they don't really like that sort of stuff. So what did Hollywood do? Did they say gay? Did they show the power of their principle and say to the Chinese, gay? No, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
No.
Okay, so
Somebody in the comments of this writes, And who knows with the Daily Wire if this is a actual human or not. It seems their courage ends where their bank account begins. That's what Ben said. That's actually lit summarization. Yeah, they're a company. They're a company. The creepy Chinese government is like, take out this gay, 6 seconds of gay stuff in this stupid movie. And then Warner Brothers or whoever's like, okay, because we exist to make money. And then, you're not going to believe this part, Warner Brothers said to them,
Chinese people look Chinese.
And then China said, no deal now. No deal now. But this one's sort of funny too because, Ben's whole segment is like, look how Hollywood, they're such hypocrites, man. They're all about gay stuff and gay rights until there's money involved, right, guys? But the other interesting thing is sort of like, oh, you mean the Chinese government kind of likes the same things you do?
LGBTQ plus IA minus quotation mark caret.
You started off with the
LGBT tiddler ampersand at.
Then you went into a thing about how the Chinese government wants to cut gay stuff out of movies the way you want to have happen too, probably, right? Not too into the gay stuff. So this is sort of a weird segment.
They don't have the courage to stand up to a government that kind of wants the same things that I do.
In Hollywood. Well, meanwhile, big tech, big government, they're cracking down on you. And this is why you need to make sure you use ExpressVPN. It doesn't matter where you live.
Hey, but I think those don't work though, dude.
/Ben Shapiro Show and get those 3 extra months for free and protect your internet activity the way that I do.
No.
Speaking of grifters, incredible story out from the Washington Examiner today about Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors. So you now have to say Black Lives Matter was one of the great scams in American history, maybe the greatest scam in American history. Corporations spent $21 billion on Black Lives Matter associated causes in 2020 to back a lie, which is that American police are systemically racist and targeting black people for no reason other than their race. It was a lie. It was promulgated by the media and corporations in order to buy the woke crowd, basically threw a bunch of bucks at a bunch of organizations, and then the money just sort of disappeared.
So this is actually a pretty important story, but of course, this moron gets it totally wrong. So he tees it up with this, with this stuff about,
this was the biggest lie. The whole thing was the biggest lie.
Because, all throughout, 2020 protests and all this stuff, he was like,
this is wrong. This is wrong. A Quiznos window got broken. That's property damage. Shut the whole thing down.
So what he's talking about is a group called Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And you can read the story. He's at New York Magazine. It's called Black Lives Matter secretly bought a $6 million house. That was from a couple days ago. Allies and critics alike have questioned where the organization's money has gone.
So when people accuse political people of grift, just understand, this is the greatest grift I have ever seen. It's an amazing grift.
When they accuse people of being grifters, certain people who we won't mention, they say, hey, you have a weird voice, and you wear shirts that don't fit right. That's them, actually.
So for his audience of school shooters and him himself, what he's trying to do is be like,
the whole thing was a lie. They should kill black people. Police should kill black people.
What it's really about is about this organization that got it because, in 2020, people were paying attention to this stuff and, the police were murdering people on camera. A lot of people wanted to donate. And one of the places that they donated was this Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Important to keep, you guys already know this, but Black Lives Matter is it's not like Wendy's or something where it's like,
that's our crap. That's our thing. And we're a centralized business.
If you read this reporting, it's pretty damning. Or at very least, doesn't look good. It's not definitely, at very least, not good PR. But the lady's name is Patrisse Cullors. And it looks like from this reporting, and again, I'm just saying what's in this report in the New York Magazine, that they were trying to make it look, they were trying to cover the tracks on buying this $6 million mansion in California. So that's not a good use of donation money, I would say, buying a mansion. This guy, Sean Campbell, actually goes really deep in the reporting. Even he says, in an interview, he says, oh yeah, this is not Black Lives Matter. This is just the specific group that raised a bunch of money.
So Black Lives Matter is the name for modern civil rights movement that we currently have. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is a separate autonomous entity that is run by various people and has its own connections. It's a bit of a problem that this organization has become associated as the name of Black Lives Matter when the two are totally separate. There's the movement, we're local activists, and anyone who agrees with the statement that Black Lives Matter. And then there's this organization that has honestly been collecting the majority of the funds.
But of course, Ben's like, no, we need to kill more people. The cops need to keep killing people, actually. Because look, this was bad.
But yeah, bro. Wouldn't it be bad if you were making a bunch of money and you were using a cause, to raise more money, and maybe not all that money really went to the cause? You know what I mean?
So we need your help because, again, this stuff is expensive and we are taking a risk here, right? We are not going to comply with these mandates and we're going to fight this all the way. So we need your help. Please subscribe. We really do need your help over at dailywire.com/subscribe. You can use the code do not comply, get 25% off so you get all of our great content. But really, more importantly, this is the time where we need to get together and fight this thing. How's OSHA going?
It is a little bit weird.
I like to see those books. How much of that money went to how much of that money actually went to the law firm in a lawsuit? I'm curious. I mean, you could make an argument, I guess, like, yeah, look, we bought a mansion. That's our headquarters. And that's where we're going to do our Black Lives Matter stuff. Okay. The lady, Patrisse Cullors, she stepped down as like head of this organization with Black Lives Matter in the title. She stepped down, and I was like, let's hear her side of the story. So I watched a couple of interviews with her, and there's not much of an explanation. I think, I think what we're in here, while I was reading the story, is we're in like Adolph Reed territory, where it's like, yeah, look, the leaders or the leaders or the people who position themselves as at the top or as leaders of some organization, they're not the same as the people who are actually like doing crap and who are fighting for crap usually. I love that, like,
finally, the true grifters are exposed. People are always saying that certain people who will go unnamed are the grifters. They're just lying. They're lying about climate change. Oh, but now they're liars.
So when people accuse political people of grift, just understand, this is the greatest grift I have ever seen. It's an amazing grift.
He says it's the greatest grift he's ever seen. He's a Trump supporter. Trump raised $250 million since election to challenge outcome. The money in the Save America PAC, unlike money contributed to Standard Campaign Committee, can be used to benefit Trump in innumerable ways. Memberships to golf clubs, travel, rallies, even payments directly to himself, as long as he declares it as income. Okay. I've never seen a grift like this. $6 million? Oh, wait, this one's $250 million? Uh-oh. You mean the guy I love? I love Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's just like,
I do scams. And I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore.
He looks in the mirror, he says that every day. Then he says,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
He just has to remind himself of that every day, just so he doesn't forget. Is there some rule of thumb? I could know how.
Can't do this anymore,
However,
man.
It turns out that there are, in fact, biological definitions of womanhood, and they have been true for literally all of time, because all of...
There are biological definitions of womanhood, and they have been true for literally all of time. All of time?
So the Earth is
Let me do some Ben Shapiro logic.
So the
Earth is 4.something billion years old. Humans have been around for what, at most 300,000 of that.
But even pre-humans.
So when humans were like a little half ape or whatever, they were on Twitter saying, men are men, women are women, dude. I don't know if you guys know this, but the apes used to do what I call bathroom checks. They used to do bathroom checks, which is, these half ape, kind of like sort of in the evolutionary process of kind of losing the fur and the jelly arms and the jellyfish arms or whatever crap they had, they would be like, I think that's not a biological man in that boy's bathroom.
Through all of time, men are men and women are women.
I mean, yeah, this whole thing seems to just be getting stale. I think this is why they're coming up with, like, you know, hey, every teacher is a pedophile and all this stuff, because this material is kind of getting boring, I bet, even for these people. You know, even for the college students that go probably with their dad to watch this, they're dressed in their khaki shorts with the glasses with the connector. I think even they realize that, like, oh yeah, if I live in a city with lots of people, I might encounter a trans person. I might have a friend who's trans, or I might have some kind of interaction, probably at a business. They're working there with a trans person, and that's probably not. That doesn't really. It's not a huge.
Worth noting that Elon Musk is now making an aggressive move to just buy out Twitter. So there was a lot of talk a little bit earlier this week about Elon Musk joining the board of Twitter, and then saying that he wasn't going to join the board of Twitter. There's speculation that maybe he was being locked out by the board of Twitter and all the rest of this. It turns out that what he really was doing is he was not joining the board of Twitter so he could make an offer to buy the whole shebang, which of course is freaking the living hell out of everybody on the left. They are losing their minds. And those changes will not happen without taking the company private. So basically, he's now holding them up. He's now saying, here's the deal. Either I'm going to dump all my stock on the open market and completely destroy your stock price in the public markets, or you're going to sell me your company at a fairly lucrative price, and I'm going to take the company private, and I'm going to fire everybody over there, and I'm going to salt the earth where your headquarters once stood.
I've been watching Billions. on the HBO or whatever crap. And I like to talk about stock stuff like this. They're going to salt the earth. Oh, and then Paul Giamatti will be after them. I'm having a good time.
So he's really worked up in the pants over this Elon Musk buying Twitter thing. Imagine being excited about this. Oh, wow. What an exciting story. One weirdo is going to buy a company from another weirdo. Oh, wow. Oh, bro. These are my pants from that. Amazing. It would be nice to have, because these are, people always say this, this is how people express themselves, and it's a lot of their jobs. A lot of people make their money from getting attention on Twitter or YouTube or whatever crap. It would actually be nice if it was just not some random ass lunatic owning the company and there was some kind of due process and Bill of Rights to all this crap,
But I didn't think of that. Because I was too busy. Get me in at a quarter share with the top. Get me a Michael Douglas brick phone from the 80s like Wall Street. Bud Fox. Gordon Gekko. Good green is good.
Okay, even I'm starting to annoy myself with that stupid voice. That's done. And now what I'm going to do from now on is just
Chinese people look Chinese.
Play that.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Well, guys, it's Friday, and you don't have a job, and you don't have shit to do, and they caught you stealing boxes. That's why you got fired.
Talking about they got me on videotape stealing boxes.
So unless you think you're too cool, which you probably do, please please zip your trap and join the live stream, and come say hello, okay? Thank you so much, and never forget. Oh, and if you're wondering where can I see this live stream,
That's on YouTube. That's on YouTube.
and if you're ever wondering, how do I tell? And just one final note here, if you're ever wondering, how do I tell where different people are from? Like, which part of the earth did they come from? Just remember this.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Love you. Bye-bye. Hey, guys. You're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away And we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today. For as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.